Okay, everybody, for those of you who do not know, my name is Michael Forrest, and it's Quest time. Now, before we get going, I'm going to ask if everybody can stay up off of this stage here. This way, nobody blocks the display, and it gives me a little bit of room to do the whole presentation hosting type thing. All right, now, Quest time is an event for Quest users. So if you're on, but all are welcome. So if you're on the device, feel free to hang out. You might pick up some information that can help our growing Quest community, because we got more and more Quest users coming into Altspace each and every day. And before we get going, I'm going to direct your attention into your menu wheel in the lower left. You're going to notice there's a microphone icon at the top of that menu wheel. When that microphone icon is clear, that means that we can hear what's happening in your environment. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn that to red. I see it's already been done. Thanks, Jessica. And what this means is essentially that if you have any background noise, someone comes into your play space and says, "Hey, are you still on that thing?" Feel free to answer them, because we're not going to hear that. You got a dog barking, don't worry about it. You're not going to face social ruin back campfire by becoming known as the avatar that started barking during its quest time. All right, now let's see. Now, while we got this emoji panel open here, let me ask you some questions here. Like, oh yeah, the emoji panel. Didn't even get to that. You got that smiling pink cheek emoji in your menu wheel. When you press it, it gives you a wide variety of options with which to express yourself. I see some of you already got a handle on it. But for those of you that don't, if I say something deep and meaningful and powerful and you feel it building up inside of you, you can just let it flow on out. Right? Or maybe I got some backup dancers backstage, right? They come out, break into Quest on the music, will finally do this professional like. You're all very impressed. You throw up the applause that I live for. I can take a moment to drink that all in because it feels good. All right. Now, if everybody, if I ask you a yes or no question, you can say yes by smiling. You can say no by frowning. All right. You can, if I say something funny, you want to express that, you can throw the silly emoji up like that. Now, this is not how you ask a question. This is how you get my attention if something goes wrong. Like, maybe all of a sudden I'm waving my hands around here. It looks like I'm talking, but you're not hearing me, right? That's a problem. Want to know about that. If I see only one hand go up like that, I'm just going to keep on going. But if I see 5 going, I know there's an issue, right? Like maybe this display catches on fire. That happened once because my moderator's got a sense of humor, and I made the mistake of giving them terraformer in the space. And well, that hasn't happened for a while because they set the screen on fire. Okay, now if you press the X button, that's going to close the emoji panel. But while we got it open, let me ask some questions so we know how to proceed. How many of you are actually on a quest right now? Let me see some emojis. Let me see some hand raises. You got 2 hands. You can use them. Let me see. All right. So I got a good amount of questions. Sorry, that's good. That's important. It'd be hard to do quest line without actual questions. Okay, now let me see. How many of you are actually new to the quest? You just started out. Anybody new quest users? See 1 hand, 2 hand, 3 hand. Let's see. Anybody else? Okay. All right, cool. So we got a few new questions. How many of you are new to Altspace? Like, you just recently joined Altspace. Another. Well, that's quite a few. You welcome to Altspace. That's awesome. Altspace is getting a lot of new users lately. That's really awesome. How many of you are changing over from an Oculus Go to an Oculus Quest? Any former Go users here today? How many of you are on a Go right now in your Quest? All right, quite a few. All right, cool. That gives me some idea how to proceed. All right, now, when I first got my Quest, I was, I came from an Oculus Go. I'd been in Altspace for many months on my Go, and I got used to people seeing me with 1 hand, right? And so when my Go was, when my Quest was shipped, I, got really excited, and I started focusing on finally getting that left hand, right? That's all I was focused on, because when I would look at other people, I would see them moving their hands around. And I grew up in Brooklyn, so I'm used to talking with my hands a lot, right? And all anybody saw was, yeah, this guy's got it. Brian's got it. Brian understands. Show me that again, Brian. You got a great body language. Do that whole thing. There we go. Very cool. Yeah, he's talking with his hand just like that. He's not even saying a word, but we know he's expressing himself right here, right here. Yeah, you. I got you, man. I got you. All right, that's awesome. Rick, ooh, Portal. Where are we going? The A game. We're going to talk about the quest. That's not cool. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Yeah, during events, you don't want to open up portals because the moderators tend not like that. Then that happens and they disappear. They go to campfire. Not cool. You want to hit go to or enter. That's like the best way. It's considered rude. Has been for a long time, but they should actually put that in the tutorial, I think. All right. Anyway, I'm falling behind here. So what happens is when I was getting my quest, I was very focused on getting the hands right. And, I felt I wasn't expressing myself as fully as I could in Altspace. So I see him. I see him. Don't worry about it. We'll be taking care of it. Thank you. Body language is really great, isn't it? You just let the whole, just communicating like that. That's my main point. Now, if you have these controllers, though, they do a lot more than just your hands. They're also your feet, how you move around, how you interact with the environment. And I like to make sure everybody's got a handle with on the full power of these controllers, right? And the way we're going to do this, if you're already familiar with the controllers, don't worry. We're going to do some exercises. We're going to have some fun. All right. Now, the first thing you need to be aware of here is you've got on either controller, on your right controller and on your left controller, you've got this grip button. This is how I just grabbed this laser pointer here. This is going to allow you to interact with your environment, like fireworks, basketballs, sparklers, even the world editor, that kind of thing. Now, you can even switch them back and forth from hand to hand just by using that grip button, or if you change the hand's direction, you can actually spin the object back and forth, which is kind of cool. It's a neat way to fidget while you're talking to your friends, right? If you're interacting with the world editor, though, it's actually going to change the behavior of this right thumbstick. Because normally the way it works, right? If you're here today, you're going to handle on this part. Your left thumbstick's going to move you around like this. Your right thumbstick's going to make you turn. And if you combine them, you can do these elaborate circles, these big elaborate circles that make my presentations so much more dramatic. Right? Everybody, if you go in these big circles here, when I look out, it's going to look like you're all ballroom dancing. Let me see how that looks. Oh, wow, that looks cool. I'm going to get in on it. All right, let's go. Big circles. I want to see them big circles. There we go. Now, the cool thing is, I always say, I wish everybody could see what it looks like up here when everybody's doing that, because it really does. It looks like you're all ballroom dancing. Fortunately, now you can, because we got a YouTube channel. So if everybody wants, you can just right there, you can see Raven and I up there. That's our camera. If you want to wave out to people on YouTube, hey, YouTube, everybody start waving. Because now this way we can feel Altspace famous, which is a good thing, right? Hey, everybody, how's it going? I'm Michael Forrest, and these are my people. All right, cool. All right, let's see what else we got up here. Let's see, we have, now some of these buttons, right, they're going to do the same thing. All right, you're going to have, like this select button here, this right trigger, and if you have your left pointer enabled, this select button on your left controller, right there, they all do the same thing. If you actually move your hand through the crowd and hold one of these buttons down, you're gonna see everybody's name tag appear above their head. That's how I know there's Hummingbird in the corner right there. We got Brian, we got Blue Dragon 69142. We've got Kermit, I'm saying it right, Kermit, I got you. All right, we got Brian, we got William, we got Eli, we got Octavius, a lot of people today, Jay White, and I am depressed. I hope that's not true. I hope today you're feeling better. You look like you're feeling better. You're raising your hands up like that. That's cool. All right, yeah, do it. All right, cool. Let's see, what else do we have here? I got my point here. All right, cool. Now you got this left trigger here, right? Now this is going to cause you to accelerate. So like say you're walking around, right? You're going along and then you squeeze down on that left trigger. All of a sudden you're going to go faster. This also works when you're flying too. I'm going to do a quick little lap around the room here. Let's see, we get a whirlpool going here. Everybody give me a whirlpool or a tornado type thing. If you get dizzy, don't do this. All right. But if you're not getting dizzy, you want to whip around here, keep going around. I want to see what that looks like. Keep moving. Let me see you move. Oh, that looks cool. All right. Very cool. All right, if you're getting dizzy, you need to stop that. All right, let's move on. I don't want to get anybody sick here. All right, now, so now you have another button you need to worry about here, this flat button on your left controller. All right, now a lot of times when you're having a room scale experience, right, what's going to happen is you're going to walk out past your menu, and whenever that happens, somebody's going to tell you to open your main menu, and you're going to be like, and because you know why? Because you're going to be looking around for this thing going, where did I put my main menu? It's around here somewhere, and it's like always behind you. And you turn around, everybody wonders why you're putting your back to them. Like, hey, Michael Forrest, you always got your back to the audience. What's that about? Well, I'm looking for my menu. Where did it go? Right? Fortunately, your menu is always in your hand. What you want to do is you want to press that left flat button on your left controller, and your main menu is going to open up right in front of you. Right? Also, if you press it again, the menu is going to close. So it's pretty handy information. All right? All right, cool. All right, so now what you have here also, all right, to be mindful of is when you have when you come up when I first came into Altspace, I went to the campfire, right? When on my quest, the first time I came in, and I'm walking along, and I felt like I was floating on air. I felt good, and I looked around, and all the avatars seemed a little bit shorter than me, and then I looked down, and I realized why. I was floating this high off the ground, all right? Now, this could happen on the quest. You got to worry about your vertical movement. Is somebody willing to, raise their height for me or kind of scooch down here? There we go. Jay White, do me a favor. Press on your left thumbstick. Show everybody what happens, all right? Press down on your left thumbstick. There you go. Boom, just like that. We also saw Krubs back too. Same time. You guys went up at the same time. Now he's going up. Press down on that left thumbstick. Press down, show everybody what happens. Oh, come up here, man. Show everyone on YouTube what it looks like. You're going to come up in front of the rug. You're going to get on camera here. All right, you come on over here. Now change your height. Let me see you change your height. Go up, go down. Either one will work. All right, now so he's walking around. He's feeling too short. Not feeling good. Press down on that left thumbstick. And boom, right down. Now he's up in the air. He's all floating. Now if he presses the left thumbstick down, what happens? Boom, just like that. So if you find your vertical height changes and you're not comfortable, or you're sinking in the ground like Eli here, all you gotta do is press on that, Eli, press down on that left thumbstick. People are gonna think there's quicksand on the floor. That rug is super plush, super plush. All right, cool. Well, when you're ready, pop up and join us. Just press down on that left thumbstick. You'll be good. All right, now let's see what else we got here. We also have this teleport button on your right and your left controller, right? A little bit to get used to, but it's cool having it in either hand. Now, I'm hoping you're in a line dash teleport, because if you are, it kind of feels like, zip line or like flinging yourself across the room. If everybody lines up on this wall right here, we can give this a try. All right, we're gonna hold down our right teleport button. We're gonna aim it at the floor. We're gonna see that circle, right? We're gonna aim it right across the room to the other wall, and as soon as we let go, boom, get thrown right across the room, just like that. Now we can try this with our left controller. You hold down on that left teleport button, you see that circle appear on the floor, you aim it at the wall, as soon as you let go, boom, you get thrown right across the room. Another cool thing you can do is if you hold down both of them at the same time, you can make an X on the floor. And as soon as you let go of the buttons at the same time, you do the zigzag teleport, right? Which is kind of neat. When I first tried that out, I went to the Universe, right? And it was back then it was held in this really large world. And, at the end, I was going around, I was exploring, I was checking out the world, and the world had an edge to it. And I'm looking over the edge, I'm seeing how close I can get, right? And all of a sudden, I fell off. And I started falling, right? As I'm falling, right, I look over and I see this cliff, and I hold out my teleport button like that, right? I got that circle landing right on that cliff. As soon as I let go, boom, I was flung to safety before I could respawn. And this told me that I was finally getting a handle on the controllers, right? And you will too. Right, there's going to come a time where you're always going to feel the plastic in your hands, but there's going to come a time when these actually become your hands. You're not going to think about the buttons anymore. Like, for example, if I say, hey, everybody, check out that window over there, right? Well, I'm not thinking about pointing. I just do it. And the way I'm doing this, if you don't know, is I'm holding down my third finger on the grip button there, and it's making me point, right? And I can threaten the audience, say, yeah, you better be a good audience. You better be a good audience. And then on the left controller, if I squeeze down that grip button, well, now I got both hands like this. I give everybody Brooklyn hello. Everybody give me that Brooklyn hello. Let me see how you're doing. Somebody knew it was coming. Jay White was doing it before I even started, right? Brooklyn hello. Oh, don't go threatening people like that, Jay White. That's not cool. You can give them an Altspace logo. Everybody give me an Altspace logo. Let me see what that looks like. Go like that. All right, Altspace logo, very cool. Now we can maybe take a picture, right? Like this guy's doing here. Who is that? All right, we got Brian taking a picture. Now, Brian, if you squeeze your trigger finger, you can take a picture. You can click it. Make this moment last forever, right? Now we can do that too. If we squeeze our trigger buttons, we got 2 thumbs up. Maybe I'm not doing such a good job here. You want to show me? You can give me 2 thumbs down. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you're not sure. You can go like this. A couple weeks ago, we had somebody go like this. I thought that was cool, right? Maybe you can do like this bird thing here like this. See, this is the key. If you see somebody doing something you like, a gesture that you like, right? Copy them, mirror them. It's the best way to pick this stuff up. You practice with your friends, you go back and forth. They do something, you do something. Like, for example, if we're holding the grip and the trigger, we're giving a thumbs up, right? If we touch, right, our finger to the buttons without pressing down on the thumbstick or the buttons, your thumb will go down. You can kind of combine that into like a kind of a cool dance move, right? Like that. Actually, I'm told this isn't as cool as it looks, but I think it feels good to go do that. Come show me what that looks like. Somebody saying no. Okay. No, anybody do this? You got this? Let me see. What you got? Let me see. Anybody doing this? All right. No, when I feel like dancing too much. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let me see what this looks like. All right. Yeah, it does look maybe not as cool as it feels, but it definitely looks like dancing, right? Okay, cool. All right, good to know. All right. So now on the right controller here, you got another button you should be concerned. And don't push this now, because if you all disappear, I'm going to feel it deep down right in there. I'm going to feel it real. Just going to be pain. Lots of it. All right. So what you can do is the left controller here, this flat button. What that's going to do is think of that as your eject button. That's like the best route out of Altspace. When you leave Altspace, like, maybe somebody comes to your room and says dinner's ready. You press that flat button, then you press quit. You're out of it. But say you're at Universe and you're dancing around, you're having a good time, doing a good set, right? And you move your hand out and you hit that button, right? Well, when you get to the Oculus main menu, you're going to see an option to quit or resume. If you press resume, you're going to get taken right back into Altspace. So that's pretty useful. But it's also the fastest way out. It's also good to press when things go wrong, all right, as sometimes can happen. All right, so like let's say that you move your head to the side, right? And when you move your head, the whole world moves with you, right? This can make you feel sick. This can make you feel dizzy. So you're going to want to, basically have a quick route out. So having press that button to press, while you're feeling sick like that, it's the fastest way to make things right. But sometimes when you press that button, it's not going to work. All right, what's going to happen is, like, let's say maybe you look up and there's a black void up there. So you look down and tell everybody about it, but all your friends are frozen like this, right? And you're like, what's going on? You turn to the left, you turn to the right, you look down and there's black voids around all edges of the screen, right? What do? Well, you press that flat button, like Michael Forrest said, but it doesn't work. What do you do then? Well, you're going to want to restart your device. And a lot of people will take their headsets off to restart their device, right? What I like to do is I like to reset it while it's still on my head, because listen, if your device isn't in a charge cycle and you go to plug it in, right, and the light's not coming on and you're pressing and holding down that power button for like 20 something seconds or whatever it is, you feel like your device is broken. It's not a good feeling. So ever since then, what I do is I restart it while it's on my head. And the way I do this is you take your index finger and you slide it on the side of your headset, you'll feel that power button, right? And you take your other finger and you squeeze them together to push down on the button. Now, I recently found out, because we were featured in the SDK meetup for the talents that we just made, and at the Flight Academy, you can fly them, they're ships and cool, you come by after and check it out. But when you squeeze it there, I saw in the video my avatar going like this because I was restarting, and I realized it looks like I'm concentrating. And then your avatar will eventually disappear. Yeah, your headset will turn off, but don't let go. Just let it keep going. And after about 10 seconds, you'll start wondering, well, yeah, why did Altspace make it take so long? You know, actually not Altspace, why did Oculus make it take so long to restart your device? It's crazy. So, you know, about 15 seconds go by and you start thinking about old friends you haven't seen, you know, and you wonder how they're doing. You know, 20 seconds go by, you start thinking about the dog you had when you were a little kid, you know, it was a good dog. And you start thinking about life, all the big questions. After about 25 seconds, you're going to hear a beep. As soon as you hear that beep, you're going to see the Oculus logo, right? You take your fingers away like that, and your device will start as normal. And then what you can do is just, you know, come on back into Altspace. And this is going to solve the majority of the problems that you're going to have in here. But occasionally you're going to experience something more severe, right? Like one time I was coming out of Altspace and I saw this message that said Oculus Room is closing or Oculus Home is closing. That's what it was. So Oculus Home is closing. If you see this message, they give you this, you know, option to press OK, but don't press it. Because when you do, it closes the loading system. The main menu is now closed. So now your headset just says loading. And it went on for like 5 minutes just saying loading. I didn't know what to do. So I restarted my device. When I restarted it, it just kept saying loading all the time. And I was like, okay, we got a problem here. So I went and I asked Google about it. You know, my good friend Google knows lots of things. He asked you, by the way. He said a lot of people were having this problem, right? A lot of people were having this problem. And, you know, what you do is you have to do a hardware reset, right? Like a firmware reset, you know, basically a factory reset. Yeah. And you keep in mind that if you need to do this, you're going to lose all of your pictures. You're going to lose all of your settings. You're going to lose all of your apps. You're going to have to. It's like getting your headset like it was the day you got it. You have to download everything. Good news is you won't have to, you know, pay for anything. You don't have to pay for those apps again. But you know, bad news is you might lose your Beat Saber scores, or you're going to have to redo all your settings in Altspace. Like if you got those blinders turned off, you're going to have to turn them off all over again. All right. So only use this in an emergency. Use it sparingly, but it's good to know that it's there. All right, now if you're on the Quest, you're already familiar with the Guardian system, right? Because you've done the tour, you danced with the robot, you played with the blimp, so good stuff. But if you know what you may not be aware of how to use this Guardian system to your advantage while you're in Altspace. All right, let's say you get dizzy in VR. One great thing you can do is just take a look at your hand. If you're feeling dizzy, just look at it, right? Take a good focus on that. And as soon as the dizziness starts to pass, you take your hand away, right, slowly, and take in the world around you. But another option that you can do is, listen, anytime you mess with your Guardian system, you'll see this happen a lot in Altspace. Somebody will be walking along and all of a sudden they're like that, right? Because they hit a wall, right? You want to be careful. You don't want to injure yourself. You don't want to damage your device. But what you can do is lead with your hands, right? And when you lead with your hands, when you get to the edge of your Guardian, you see that grid appear in the air in front of you, right? So what you can do, you can still touch your thumbsticks. So you can still move your avatar around VR while you're still holding onto this grid, right? So what I can do is I can move this grid over to this display screen here, right? Just like that, all right? Now this display screen matches where my real world wall is. So I can walk out from it, right? And let's say the worst happens. Let's say I fall off the stage. Oh no, I'm in the audience, right? Maybe the audience is angry. Maybe the audience is hostile, right? Maybe the audience comes at me. Everybody come at me, mess with me, make me dizzy. Go ahead, the worst you got. Punches in the face, that's good, that's creative. Blocking my vision, but I can still see the display. Oh, that's good, but you know what? In Altspace, you've got gaps in the fingers. I can still see the screen. And as long as I see that screen, I remain anchored to the real world. All right. So this way, it's really hard for you guys to make me dizzy because I got a frame of reference to the real world. All right. So that's important. You know, if you're feeling a little bit woozy, these reality anchors, or whatever you want to call them, is a good way to actually stay balanced, stay focused. All right. Now, another thing that you can do is you can transition from a room scale experience to a stationary experience pretty effortlessly in Altspace. So let's say, I've been up here and I've been hosting a long time and I'm tired. Or I've been hosting for ages and every day, and it gets to you. And now I just need to sit down. So what I want to do is, if I walk out of my Guardian, I go up to the edge like this, right? And I got enough room for my head to go through. So now I can safely put my head through. So I stick my head through and I see, whoa, I got my coffee right there. That's the stuff. All right. And then now if I look over there, my Serenity, I've got a chair over there. So I'm going to go sit in that chair. And I walk out and, And now I've got the pass-through camera going on, and I've got this blue button asking me, do you want to switch to a stationary experience? Because my Quest knows what's coming. So I go around, I sit in my chair here, I turn around, I get in the chair, get comfortable, organize that circle, then I press that blue button, right? And then VR comes back into view, and you know what? I'm still in Altspace. This works in the other direction too. I was moderating an event, I was sitting down, and I was, doing the whole moderation thing, and I get this urge to get up and walk around. It's a good thing for me, so I get up to walk around. I thought I would just walk right into my Guardian. That's the way it usually goes, right? But it turns out every now and then the Quest can lose your Guardian. They want you to draw it. Normally not a big deal, but the event was almost over. I was worried I wouldn't be able to get back in, so I very hurriedly start drawing my Guardian. I'm just painting it out on the floor there, and I'm wondering, why is my play space so big? Oh, the host is going to be mad. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I closed the loop, and when that grid raised up out of the ground, right, and I came back into VR, I found I was still in Altspace. I'd never left. All anybody saw was my avatar frozen like this. I did this bit once, and what actually happened was I actually crashed when I was like that. And everybody that was out in the audience like, he's so committed to the role. Look at him. He's just so invested in the character. And then I disappeared, and I guess, it's really bad timing, actually. All right, so, but yeah, it can go like that, where you can switch between a room scale and a stationary experience without ever leaving Altspace. All anyone's going to see is your avatar frozen. It's going to look like having an out-of-avatar experience, to your friends in here, because they're like, why is he frozen? Did he crash? And then you're going to come back, and they're like, no, I was just sitting down. I was just getting comfortable. Because I didn't know this guy was going to talk for this long. All right. Now, another cool thing you can do is you can look through your Guardian system, right? Get real close to the edge of it, make sure you got enough room for your head to go through it. And now, when you put your head through it, your pass-through camera goes off, right? You can see the room around you. But if you do this really slow, there's a sweet spot where you can see both realities at once. This is pretty cool. It's not useful, but it's kind of neat because you can see avatars in your home environment, in your office or your living room or wherever it is you use VR. You'll be able to see the avatars of your friends standing in your environment, right? Kind of like augmented reality. And it's great because you get a sense of how tall avatars actually are. I'd say they're about 6 feet tall, which is pretty neat, actually. All right. Now, the good thing about the Quest is it just works. It doesn't mean it can't work better, right? What you want to find is you'll find that there's a lot of accessories that can improve your experience. First of which we're going to talk about is these earbuds that kind of dangle from your headset, right? They hang off the side, kind of like earrings for your headset. I don't know what I look like when I'm in VR, but I like to think when I'm wearing these things, I look fancy, right? The first time I tried these, they were back on back order for a month. So I got used to in that time how full and rich the sound is on the Quest, how there's no feedback, had a really great sound system. So when I got these earbuds, I didn't think it could get better. So I went to the campfire, and honestly, no one ever told me there was a breeze in the campfire. There's like a wind. I didn't know that. Right? And I went over to that fence there and I heard the rushing water going by, right? It turns out there's a lot of ambient sound in Altspace that makes the experience a lot more immersive. It's really actually pretty cool, Now we also have, and listen, when I first got my Quest, I heard a lot of people say that it's very uncomfortable, right? And it's simply not true. In the beginning, it can be though. Like I got these high cheekbones, right? So the top of my device was pressing into my forehead and I got a sore from it, right? And as I kept coming into VR, I was hosting my event. And while I'm hosting my event, I'm sitting here, I'm pointing at the display and I'm telling the people about the things many. And what happened was, right, I felt this moisture inside my head. Hummingbird hates this bit coming up, right? But what happened was, I didn't know what it was. I just couldn't figure it out. And, I said, but I kept going, trained professional. I wanted to finish the event. And as soon as the event's over, my wife comes in the room and asks me how it went. She's all interested like that. And I started looking at my headset and I said, well, and then before I could answer her, right, she says, go look in the mirror. So I'm going to use this column here for a mirror. And I go over and I look in the mirror. So I can't really see myself in this thing, but okay. But when I look in the mirror, I see I had these 2 rings around my eyes. And it turned out that I had actually bled into my headset. The sore had opened up, right? I know it's super disgusting. Don't worry, I cleaned it good, right? But I realized I had to do something about it. See, Humber really hates that bit. But I had to do something about it. It's cool though, because I ended up with this cool story. I walked around for the next week I'd walk around and I'd go, Altspace, I bled for you. And then I'd get all dramatic and I put my fist up like this and I go, that's right, Altspace, I bled for you. Like that, just like that. So I figured I had to do something about this. So what I did was I found a company called VR Cover. And VR Cover makes these inserts for your headset. They have one that, holds out, the light a little bit better. That prevents what they call light bleed. See what I did there, right? But I ended up getting the cloth one because they give you 2 of them. This way you can wash one while the other's in use. But it was coming from Thailand, so it was going to take a week to arrive, right? So while I was waiting for it, I found out that in that week, I was using my headset a lot. And the oils from your face actually condition the headset. So it turns out Oculus doesn't advertise this as much as they should. There's a breaking in period, right? The more you use it, the softer it's going to get. And eventually there's going to come a point where the balance of it sort of changes and it gets to be a lot more comfortable. You won't feel it on your face anymore. All you're going to feel is, these are your eyes, these are your hands, and then you're in here with us, which is kind of the point, right? Now, a lot of times people are going to get, the urge to modify their device. And that's cool if you want to do that, but don't do it for a couple of weeks until after, you've broken in your headset. Because what's going to happen is if you do it too early, like let's say you get an external battery pack or, a counterbalance or something to change the weight of the headset, you do it too early, then the breaking in period, goes through, and then all of a sudden it's off balance all over again. And you're left with the opinion that the Quest just isn't comfortable. All right, and that's really not the case. You just got to go through the breaking in period before you modify it. And then after the breaking period, you may find that you don't want to. Like I ended up not getting the counterbalance stuff because I think it's weighted great. It's extremely comfortable. Good stuff. All right, everybody, let's see. We also have these prescription inserts for your headset that protect your lenses in your headset. And speaking of protecting your headset, you also have this travel case. Listen, if you are in VR a lot and you've made friends in here and relationships and stuff like that, this is kind of like, one of your, parts of your social life. If something happens to your headset, all right, you're going to register it as an actual loss. It's not like losing your toaster. All right, I've seen it happen to people. It's very sad. And so protect your device, keep it out of sunlight, and put it in either the box that it came in, but if you're going to be traveling around, the travel case, you can't go wrong with that. All right. Turn, I see you frowning. Why are you frowning? It's sad. All right. Okay. We'll try to do better here. All right. So if you'd like to try any of these products, what you can do, right, is you can go to altvr.com. If you go up to channels, where's on the upper left there, you're going to see Ravenhole events, like it says on the sound booth up there. And when you click on that, you're going to, see our, event page on the second page there. You go down there and you press that Ravenhole events button. You're going to see a join Discord button. And if you want to help us put on events like that, you can join a Discord. You're also going to see all the products I just talked about on the left-hand side if you'd like to try any of them. And then you're also going to see the most important button ever up at the top right there, the subscribe button. It lets Altspace know how we're doing. More importantly, though, it makes us feel good that you enjoy our content. So every time that number goes up, we feel good. So if you could press that, we'd be most appreciative. All right, now we are going to take your questions, your comments. Maybe you found, some solution to some Quest problems that I haven't, mentioned. Maybe you tried some accessories, or you tried the Oculus Link, which is awesome, or you've tried the hand tracking or anything like that, and you want to talk about it. That's cool. What we're going to do now is we are going to open it up for questions, and now you're going to see a raise hand button appear on your lower right as if by magic. If you have a question or comment, when we get on the air, just press that raise hand button, and we'll get you going there. Anybody? Let's see what we got here. Anybody on there? Let's see. Okay, not seeing. Weird. Okay, cool. All right, so maybe no questions today. That's cool. All right, not seeing the list fill up. Oh, there we go. Sometimes it takes a minute. Let's see. We have Octavius. Octavius, you have a question? Octavius, you're on the air. Where are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Oh, what's up? I'm from Brooklyn too. What part of Brooklyn are you from?
Hey, Bay Ridge. How about you?
Bay Ridge? I was living in Bay Ridge a couple of years. I had to move out of there. It was too much partying.
Oh, well, that's not necessarily a bad thing, Octavius. Did you have a question or just Brooklyn love?
Nah, yeah. I mean, this is my first day with this thing. I just got it on Amazon.
Oh, cool. So, neat. How do you like it so far?
Oh, man, it's crazy. I love it. It's like a whole
new,
it's
pretty wild. If you think about it, right? If I go like this and somebody here today is from like Australia or something like that, right? When I go like this, that hand motion, it's being transmitted all the way to the other side of the world. There's nothing like
That's
it.
crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's nuts. It's pretty cool. All right, let's see. Do we have anybody else have a question or a comment? We've got, let's see. No? Okay, not a lot of questions today. All right, let me show you guys one more thing. All right, see this white thing on the edge of the stage here, this pen, right? This is a flight tool. Now, normally at the end of our events, we take everybody flying. We teach you how to fly. If you don't know how, we'll show you. But there's also this flight tool. So if you want to learn how to use this, come and see me. All you do is you draw lines with it in the air. And when you move the line, if you draw short lines, you'll move slowly in that direction. And the longer the line, the faster you're going to go, right? And what's pretty cool is if you're sitting down, this actually doesn't really make you dizzy. It can make you a little woozy if you're standing, but yeah, that can totally happen. But we're a little over time here, so we know what we're going to do. There we go. If Andy, I just muted myself. That's good. I was trying to make the pen disappear. All right, cool. All right. Now, if anybody has any more questions or comments, we'll take them there. What we're going to do is going to walk out this back room, all right, to that door there, blue light there. We're going to go into that. We're going to go into the load screen. We're going to come out the other side at the Radar Flight Academy. But before we get going, if you've learned anything at all, please share what you've learned. Like if you're in a campfire and you see an avatar and he's like this far down on the ground, and you walk up to him and you're like, "What's wrong, little buddy?" And they look up at you and they're like, and they go to you, they look right in your eyes and they go, I'm on a quest and I'm stuck in the ground. All you tell them to do is just press that left thumbstick. They'll pop up and they'll feel better, right? You'll feel better because you help somebody, and that's kind of how we help keep this Altspace thing going, right? All right, now when we head out, we go through that back door there, but let's do it to music. And let me see your moves if you got them. Let me see your moves. All right, let's everybody get going. All right, we're gonna go out here. We're going to go back. Keep on going. There we are. Let's keep on moving. Here we go. Right this way into the blue light, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks.